What does it really take to position yourself as an expert? Do you need years of experience, a fancy certification, or a massive following? Or is it possible that you already have everything you need, you just haven't fully owned it yet? If you've ever hesitated to call yourself an expert, you're not alone. So many entrepreneurs hold themselves back, waiting for that magical moment when they'll finally feel qualified. But the thing is, you'll never feel finally qualified. Expertise isn't about knowing everything, it's about knowing enough to help the right people. So, listen on to the episode to find out the 4 essential things I believe that you need in order to help you feel comfortable in calling yourself an expert. Welcome to the Powerful Content Podcast, your go-to source for content creation, strategy, and business inspiration. I'm your host, Mel Daniels, content strategist, coach, and speaker, empowering women across the globe to grow their business with powerful content that connects, nurtures, and converts. So, if you're ready to create standout content that gets you noticed and remembered, or build an aligned audience who love you and are ready to buy from you, you're in the right place. I believe that content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how you use it. Listen in for genuine and insightful chats with guests, as well as practical tools and strategies from me. It's so lovely to have you here. Let's dive into the show. I acknowledge the Wongal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional custodians of the country that I am recording from today. I recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all First Nation people listening today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 153 of the Powerful Content Podcast. I hope you are well today. For many of you with children here in Australia, can I say congratulations? Congratulations on making it through the summer holidays. You did it. Now, my two are very self-sufficient. They're a little bit older, so I don't really see a great deal of them during the holidays. So just know if you have little ones now, it does get easier. Anyway, I'm finally coming through the haze that has been January for me, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more motivated and excited about things in my business for 2025. Now, this month inside my membership, The Content Effect, our training was on minimum viable content and how it's got me through the past couple of months. Well worth coming to join us inside the membership for how you can implement MVC into your business as well. Anyway, all of this got me thinking about how I can continue my minimum viable content throughout the year, but crank up the notch a little bit to get back into guest podcasting, which is something I absolutely love to do. And by the way, if you've got a podcast or know someone who would be a great fit for me to talk on their podcast, please reach out and let me know. I love to share the love about content. And then this train of thought that I had then led me to think about how many amazing, talented, smart entrepreneurs that I know who feel a little bit unsure about stepping into their expertise, which then led me to want to share this episode about becoming the go-to expert. So I know my brain works in mysterious ways somehow, but we got here. We got to the topic around becoming a go-to expert. So here we are, ready to talk about how to clarify your expertise and have the confidence to get those speaking gigs that you dream of. But before we start, I want to give you a bit of a pep talk and remind you how amazing you are. If you're in business, you're already an expert, full stop. There's something that you're so good at that people pay you to do it. So don't doubt yourself when you're thinking of yourself as an expert. You do not need a PhD. You do not need 10 years of experience or a massive following to be an expert. It definitely helps, but it's not necessary. An expert simply means being one step ahead of your ideal client and guiding them through what you already know, whether that's doing the doing for them or teaching them how to do the doing. So here's 4 things that I believe that you need to be able to call yourself an expert with confidence. And the first thing is to get clear on your niche. There's quite a few older podcast episodes that you can go back to help you with this, and I'll pop them in the show notes. But episode 21 way back at the beginning with business coach Jessica Osborne is one of the most popular episodes of all time and well worth a listen if you're still trying to understand and navigate your niche. But from my perspective, one of the biggest mistakes that business owners make, and I was no exception to this when I first started, is trying to help everyone and being too broad. So when I first started as a virtual assistant, I was offering everything from documentation to admin to finance to even event management. And whilst I thought this would help me get more clients, all it did was confuse any potential clients as they weren't convinced that I could do any of them very well. And to be honest, I didn't know what I did, so I couldn't be clear when anyone asked me. So the lesson here is that specificity equals authority. When you define who you help and how you help them, people remember you. So I say that I help business owners who want to ditch the shoulds and create content that feels authentic, aligned, and human centered. So, who do you help and what outcome or transformation do you help them achieve? This is your niche and this is the crux of your expertise. So, for an example, a health coach could really specialize and say, I help free up brain space of single parents by simplifying meal planning so that their family can eat healthier. So, if someone asked you today, what do you do right now? How would you answer? And could it be clearer? The second thing that I would love for you to do is define your unique perspective. And if there is one thing that I wish everyone knew, it is that you are unique and you have a unique perspective, and this is what sells what you do. People don't buy knowledge. They can get it from the internet. They can get it from a range of people. They buy your perspective, your approach, and your values. And there's quite a few episodes again that can help you with this, and I'll pop them in the show notes. But for me, the one thing that will help you understand your unique perspective and articulate that transformation you provide is to know and be able to say what your core beliefs are. Because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people who do what you do. But the thing that makes you different is what you believe. And when you combine this with your lived experience, your personal insights, your values, they all shape how you teach and help people. So for me, I have 4 main core beliefs, which is the crux of my message and really leads into the transformation that I provide for my clients. I'm probably about to actually refine these core beliefs even further after publishing my book, The Power of Content, but essentially, they are content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how to use it. The second one is when you move from content marketing based on transactions to one mindful of the human you're creating for, you'll experience personal and business growth. The third is you don't have to do hashtag all the things. Life flows when you accept your time, energy, and resources. And the last one is we make a greater impact when we come together. So think about what you strongly believe about your industry that perhaps goes against the grain or goes against mainstream thinking. You don't need to be hugely controversial here, but you do need to have a viewpoint. So don't be afraid to own this opinion. This is what makes you stand out. Now, the third thing is to embrace your strengths. There is simply no point in being an expert if you don't share your knowledge with others. And the simplest way to do this is through your content. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be highly visible and good at all types of content and be in all the places and do all the things in order to be that expert. You just need to lean into your natural strengths. So your content creator archetype will influence how you show up and what content that you love to create. And if you don't know what yours is, head on down to the show notes to answer a quick quiz that will give you insights into what your strengths are. So an example here is if you're a precision planner who just loves to be organized and structured, they might shine through a workshop that really goes through content in detail or teaches in detail. They will turn up as a guest to a podcast with bullet points and a logical framework as well. But that really is in line with their strengths. And then a free spirit who loves to create content in the moment or when they're inspired might excel in that spontaneous real-time content like live videos, or they'll thrive as a guest on a podcast where the host has a natural, free-flowing conversational format. So please please, 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 if you've been told that sharing your expertise has to look a certain way or you have to do certain things, don't listen. Run the other way. How you share your expertise is as unique as you are. And like I said, head on down to the show notes to take the Content Creator Archetype quiz to find out what your strengths are. Now, the fourth and final thing is to own your expertise. Please stop waiting for permission. This is probably by far the biggest and scariest mind shift that you will need to make. And it won't happen overnight. Definitely know that. But know that you don't need someone to tell you that you have something to share with the world. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be a few steps ahead. So if you think about expertise in this light, then everyone in the whole world is an expert in something. Now, when I talk to business owners about sharing their expertise, and particularly as a guest on a podcast, the most common objections I hear are this: I don't know enough yet. Guess what? You'll always be learning, and that's a good thing. The more that you practice, the more that you talk about what you do and your unique perspective on it, the better you're going to get at it. The next objection is someone else is already doing this. This may be true, but they aren't you. You are an accumulation of your experiences, upbringing, values, beliefs, which are totally different to anyone else's. Your experience and your voice matters, so please get out there and share it. And the last one is, who am I to think that people want to hear what I have to say? This imposter syndrome is real. It's also a sign that you're growing and you have an awareness and you have an opportunity for growth. So go back to objection 1 and remember that practice makes perfect. The more you talk about what you do and your unique view on it, the more confident you're going to become in sharing it. So just think about one person that you've already helped and how did you change their experience? How did you help them achieve an outcome? If you helped them, you can help others too. Because the thing is, if you wait until you feel like an expert, you'll be waiting forever. Trust me, I know from experience. So that's your pep talk for today. A quick recap on what it takes to be an expert is first, get clear on who you help and how. The second is to define your unique perspective. The third is to lean into your strengths. And the last one is stop waiting for permission. Own your expertise now. Now, if you'd like to think more deeply about this and what becoming an expert might mean to you, then here's today's reflection questions. The first is, what topics do I naturally get excited about teaching or sharing, and how can I lean into this more? The second is, what limiting beliefs are holding me back from claiming my authority and my expertise? How can I reframe these limiting beliefs? And lastly, if I fully trusted my expertise, how would I show up differently in my content and business? Please remember, you already have what it takes to be seen as an expert. The only thing missing is your belief in yourself. So hopefully this episode has helped you see that you are amazing and what you know needs to be shared with the people who need to hear it today. Talk soon. Thanks so much for listening. That's it for another week. To get more powerful content in your life, make sure you're following along on socials. My handle is @meldbusiness. And just in case you're wondering, the groovy music for this podcast was created by Just Here on SoundCloud. I'd also be super grateful if you took a moment to rate and review this podcast so more amazing women like you can experience the power of content. And if you're like, hell Mel, stop talking, I'm ready to work with you now, here's how we can work some powerful content magic together. Firstly, come and join the Content Effect, my membership inspiring women with service-based businesses to ditch the content chaos and start creating stand-out content that gets you noticed and makes sales. You can join us by using the link in the show notes or just Google the Content Effect. The second way we can work together is via my one-on-one packages. We can create a sustainable content strategy or start to build out your client journey. It's up to you. Hop on over to meldbusinessservices.com.au/services to find out more. Until next time, have a beautiful week and embrace the power of your content.